Maybe you clicked on this video because you saw chips and salsa and you were intrigued. Well, let me tell you friends, these recipes are sure to be instant crowd pleasers. Whether you're hosting for Cinco de Mayo or just another summer barbecue, making salsa and guacamole from scratch are one of those chef's kiss, easy, beginner-friendly recipes to master. We are talking pico de gallo, guacamole, a roasted tomatillo salsa, and of course those yummy pickles that just make everything fire. So to get started today, we're gonna start with our pickles. If you'd like the recipe for today's video, check the description box down below. It'll be linked. If you're interested in any of the products that we're showing in today's video as well, also check the description box. Our Shop My store will be linked down there as well. And if you like this video and want to see more, hit that like and subscribe button so you never miss an upcoming video. So to get started with our pickles, we're going to make our brine. We're going to use equal parts of white vinegar and water. If you don't have white vinegar, a great sub for this is apple cider vinegar, red wine vinegar. All of those work well, just stay away from balsamic. I've added that to a small saucepan on medium-high heat, and now I'm going to go ahead and add in our aromatics. We have peppercorns, some minced garlic, bay leaves, some Mexican oregano. I prefer using Mexican oregano or a hot and spicy oregano if I can find it. If you can't find those, regular oregano that you get at the grocery store is totally fine. I just find that the hot and spicy adds just like another kick to it, and the Mexican oregano has a bit of citrus undertones as well as some floral notes that are really nice, but your bog standard oregano works just fine. And lastly, we're gonna add in some kosher salt. I'm gonna give that a mix and let everything dissolve and come to just before boiling point. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and pack my jar with the rest of my ingredients. Now to our 16-ounce mason jar, we're going to pack in our vegetables. I've gone ahead and sliced up a carrot, an onion, as well as some jalapenos. What I like about this recipe is that the brine helps to reduce down the spiciness of your jalapeno, but if you are not a big fan of spice or you have a family of people who are spice adverse, just cut your jalapeno into matchsticks, avoiding the ribs and the seeds, and that should help to alleviate some of that spiciness. Otherwise, I just cut mine into rounds and I'm gonna throw that into my jar as well. If you're looking for some nice layers, you can always layer up your jar so everything kind of ends up evenly dispersed inside the jar, which is what I'm doing here today. And you wanna make sure that you pack everything down. The pickles are great. They'll last in your refrigerator for about 3 weeks, but all the vegetables do need to stay under the brine level. So you just wanna make sure that when you're packing all of your veggies in, that you make sure that they're fully submerged. Let's add our brine. The hot brine will also help to cook the vegetables down just slightly, which is great, but it won't take away from the crunchiness that you'll have already from the raw veggies. If you have a little bit of extra brine, that's okay too. You just wanna make sure that your lid is nice and tight. And one of the things I like to do just to make sure that everything is well incorporated is I like to flip my jar upside down and let everything kind of sink and meld together. And I like to give everything a bit of a shake. Now that we've married our vegetables with our brine, you're going to want to let this hang out overnight in the refrigerator for up to 24 hours just to let everything come together, and then they're ready to use. These can be stored for up to 3 weeks in the refrigerator. Just make sure to stay on top of making sure that your vegetables stay submerged in the brine. These are wonderful. You can add them to literally almost anything. I highly recommend checking these out. This is a wonderful, quick, easy pickle recipe that you will not regret making on the regular. Now that our pickles are done, let's make our next salsa, which is one of my personal favorites. I love a green salsa, and today's green salsa is a roasted tomatillo salsa that is not intimidating at all whatsoever. The first thing you want to do when making the tomatillo sauce is to preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Now, to peel the husk off of your tomatillo, it's really straightforward. You're going to peel it kind of like you would peel a mandarin, and the actual tomatillo will be a little bit sticky. So just make sure to rinse the tomatillos under cold water just to help get that stickiness off of them before you toss it in with the rest of the vegetables. To the bowl with our tomatillos, we're going to add in an onion cut into chunks. To our bowl of tomatillos and onions, we're going to add in jalapenos with the stems removed, as well as some peeled garlic cloves. I'm going to go ahead and drizzle my vegetables with some neutral oil. And then I'm seasoning with salt and pepper, and I'm just gonna give them a toss before adding them to my sheet tray. You just wanna make sure that your vegetables are all really well coated with the oil and your seasoning. And now I'm just going to transfer over my vegetables onto a rimmed baking sheet, making sure that everything in a single layer and as spread out as I can make it, just so that way all of our vegetables roast down at the same time. All right, into the oven, these go. The veggies are going to take about 20 to 25 minutes. Just check on them periodically. They're going to turn a nice deep color, and we just want all of that caramelization to go into our final salsa. Our vegetables are out of the oven, and as you can see here, I have my blender out. This is a blended salsa. You can do this with an immersion blender, a NutriBullet, a high-powered blender is all you really need to get the job done. And depending on how blended you want this, you can make this a completely silky smooth salsa or a little bit more chunky if you like a little bit more texture. I'm gonna grab my veggies and then we will get started on the rest of this recipe. Now you can see here how great these veggies turned out. They're perfectly caramelized and roasted. And now I'm just going to add them along with all of the juice right into the base of our blender. To amplify and help lift the roasted ingredients, we just have a couple more just to turn things up a notch. I have some ground cumin, as well as a whole bunch of cilantro, woody stem end removed, but you want the leaves and the tender stems. This is all gonna go right in. Keep some salt and pepper on hand to adjust seasoning, and we're going to add just a little bit of water just to help blend and get a smooth consistency. Nice big pinch of salt, not as big of a pinch of pepper. Let's get to blending, my friends. Now, this to me is perfect. I didn't end up needing any additional water. I'm really enjoying the consistency that the juices from the veggies created. I'm going to decant this and stick this into a jar. This is good in your refrigerator for up to a week. The tomatillo salsa is a spicy salsa, so if you don't like a lot of spice, just like in any of these recipes, just remove the ribs and seeds from all of the peppers. That will ensure that you don't burn your tongue off when you're trying to enjoy your chips and salsa. To me, no Taco Tuesday is complete without Pico de Gallo. Our pico is really straightforward, it's absolutely delicious, and I'm gonna show you how to make it. The key for a great Pico de Gallo that isn't watery is to ensure that you properly cut your Roma tomatoes. Now, a lot of picos tend to be what people would deem as like flavorless or watery. An easy way to combat that is to actually just use the flesh of the tomato and not the inside of the tomato. So as you can see here, I'm just running my knife around the edge of my Roma tomato, like so. And I've left the pulp and the seeds, the inside of the tomato, completely whole. From here, we're just going to dice our tomato into small dices. I've gone ahead and created matchsticks with my tomato, and I'm just going to run my knife through to create a small dice. Now with the pico, unlike the other recipes in this video, it is a fresh salsa, so it is best made same day and consumed same day. You can make it the night before you're gonna eat it. You just might want to give everything a bit of a stir and see if it has gathered too many juices, and then you may just want to drain some of those juices off right before serving. Now to your mixing bowl, you're going to add in your tomatoes. I have the rest of my tomatoes here. Red onion. I have some jalapeno here. And to continue on with freshness, we're going to add in our cilantro, our cilantro, and this is leaves and tender stems. Cilantro's added. I'm going to now add in some lime juice. And lastly, before I mix this up, I'm gonna add in some salt and pepper. Nice big pinch of salt. And a marginally smaller pinch of pepper. All right, let's give this a mix. Always make sure to taste all of your recipes before serving. Ooh, that's so good. I'm going to let this hang out and marinate at room temperature for a couple of hours before serving. In my opinion, tomatoes are best served at room temperature. They have the most flavor. Tomatoes cold are not a vibe. If you make this ahead, just pull it out of the fridge a couple of hours before you're ready to serve, just to make sure it's at the optimal temperature for consuming. On to our final recipe in this video, guacamole. It can be hard pressed to make guacamole in advance and not have it just turn a sad brown color on you. I have a couple of tips and tricks here I'm gonna share with you folks. Tip number one, you need to make sure that you have a nice amount of acid in your guacamole. That'll help from it turning and oxidizing super quickly. The next is that once you are done with making your guac, immediately shut it down from air. So this is one of those instances where you want to put your beeswax wrap or your plastic wrap directly right onto the top of your mash to remove any chance that air can get into your avocado mash. So you're just going to want to put cling film or something of that nature directly on top of your guacamole and push out all of the air so it's a nice tight seal in your mixing bowl. The other tip is you can always store a guacamole or an avocado with the pit in it, and that does help to delay a little bit of browning, but my favorite hack is actually to freeze it. I have gone ahead and smashed my avo. I'm going to now add in some lime juice, some garlic, and I have a little bit of jalapeno seeds and ribs removed just for a little bit of a kick. And lastly, I am going to dice up some cilantro with the tender stems and leaves, just for that fresh, quintessentially guacamole flavor profile. Now at this point, I'm gonna alternate between my pestle and a spoon just to incorporate everything. Of course, don't forget your salt and pep. Salt and a little bit of pepper. A little bit of salt. Avocado is one of those fruits that can take on a lot of salt and gets better with the addition of salt, so don't be afraid of the salt in this recipe. The last thing you want is for a bland guac. Nobody wants a bland guac. This actually looks perfect. All right. It's time for the official taste test. We have all of our salsas, all of our dips, our pickles. They're all ready to go. Let's taste them together so I can tell you how delicious they are so you make them. All right. That tomatillo salsa, you would never know that it's roasted. It is so bright and acidic, and then it just packs full of flavor. You have that cumin, the roasted vegetables, that caramelization that you can taste with the fresh cilantro. This is so good and so worth making. Don't be intimidated, just try it. It gets better. That is so good. These two things together are a match made in heaven. And now, last step, our pico. It's fresh, it's bright, it's full of flavor. So good. And the piece de resistance, if you're gonna make anything from this video, make the pickles. The pickles just remind me of being in a taco shop in San Diego. I can categorically say I have elevated my taco night by 12. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen. I really hoped you enjoyed today's video. If you liked this video and want to see more, please do hit like and subscribe. Check the description box down below. The recipe will be linked there. And of course, check out our Shop My storefront for any of the products that we featured in today's video. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen. It's been such a blast. And until the next one, have a great rest of your day. Bye.